Hey guys, it's Crozo again, and welcome to my Heroic Sire Denathrius guide for Affliction Warlocks. I've done this fight, I don't know, like a million times by now, so hopefully I can teach you some of the stuff that I've learned in here. Maybe get your first kill, get a better parse, I don't know, impress your lady WoW friends, I'm not sure. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started.
You think yourself exceptional, gifted, but you will learn humility.
Alright guys, let's talk about talents. So in the 15 row, Drain Soul is always the move here. Drain Soul is just... These don't compare to Drain Soul, like, really. You can get Soul Shards from ads, easiest way to maintain Shadow's Embrace, does extra damage in execute range. It's just like the only one you can't take. 25 row, Siphon Life's the best way to go. It just, over the course of the fight, it'll do more damage, and it'll make your Raptures hit harder, where they really count, which is in phase 3. It's just super good. Absolute Corruption might seem nice. Yeah, it might feel better too, because this fight is very global starved. You have a lot of tap targeting to do in phase 2, and it's really hard to maintain all your dots on every target, while also trying to Rapture and move to dodge crescendos, or the Hand of Destruction moving back and forth, or massacres, or impales. But trust me, Siphon Life ends up being better and doing more damage. If you don't believe me, you can look at the logs too. Like, over 90% of the Warlocks in the top, 100, few hundred, all take Siphon Life. It just takes some practice to get used to it, but it's definitely better. Yeah. In the 30 row, I take Demon Skin. I find having the extra like shield and healing over the course of the fight to be better than the move speed you'd get from Burning Rush. But Burning Rush is also a viable option. I think it just depends on what you need more, you prefer. All the groups I'm in, we always have like 50 druids and a couple, a shaman or two every now and then. So Windrush totems are easily available, same with roars. So getting around when you need to, like in phase 1 before the room gets cut, or going around through Hands of Destruction, your team can normally make up for your lack of move speed. So I don't find the need to take this, but if you want to take it, it's also fine. Dark Pact, I don't think it's really necessary in this fight, so I wouldn't consider it. But either of these two is really fine. It just depends what you want. 35, Phantom Singularity, which is the best. These two, there's yeah, no comparing. 40 Tree, Mortal Coil is just the best. These two you can't get used to them in the fight anyways. And the healing is really nice. One thing I like to do a lot, similar to in Sludge Fist's fight, whenever he roars you back, you can Mortal Coil as the roar goes off. So whenever you take the damage, the Mortal Coil will already be like flying to him, and you'll get healed as soon as you get knocked back. So Shattering Pain is the same, right? When he does this 3-strike hit and knocks you back, you just Mortal Coil as you're getting knocked back, and then when you land, you'll just get healed back up. It's just a very nice little trick you can have. Or if you just, get hit by whatever, it's a really nice way to heal yourself. Let's see, 45 Tree, Haunt. Haunts is the best. These two aren't really good on the fight at all. And then obviously Misery is your last choice as well. So, those are the talents. Alright, Soulbinds and Conduits. I recommend going Naya, just for the Mastery. The Mastery is such a nice buff to have. You go Focus, Malignancy, like always, just the best AF potency conduit. Demonic Momentum, because using your Demonic Circle Teleport so much during this fight, and having the move speed and the mobility on a fight that's so hectic and like movement oriented is just so convenient. Like, this is so nice to have, in my opinion. And then there's an interesting thing about this fight is you can go Burrs with double endurance conduits or poison with double potency. For most of my kills, I went Burrs and double endurance, but after looking at some numbers, and of course on Warcraft logs too, most of the top parsing Warlocks recently have been going double potency instead, because they realize like most groups do finish phase 2 rather quickly, and then phase 3 is like the burn phase. We have to do, like, it's the hardest part, right? And having the extra like damage on your Cold Embrace, Shadow's Embrace is better than having the random damage from Burrs and an extra endurance conduit. Like, Burrs is good, but it's better on a target that isn't moving much. Think like Shriekwing or like Darkvein, where they just kind of stand still most of the time, and it'll just hit them because it'll stay on the ground under them, do damage over time. But you move so much in the fight, it's just really hard to actually get real value out of this compared to this is always going to be up on Sire, so this is just better. And one more thing too I'd like to mention is I have Bloodstone as my endurance conduit here, but if you're running only one endurance conduit, I think it's worth it to go over Accrued Vitality instead of Bloodstone, because Vitality gives you the healing on demand when you want it. Think phase 3, right? You get 2 seeds in a row, and you're taking this huge ticking dot over, like, you know, just for 20 seconds, just getting destroyed by this dot. Well, you can wall, yeah, but wall's only, 8 seconds or something. So I think having the Vitality to have pretty much like double the healing of Drain Life just going on when you need it the most is very, very helpful. And yeah, this gives you value, but this is definitely my pick if you're only going one endurance for this fight. The healing when you need it is a lot better than the passive healing in out of these two, in my opinion.
Welcome! I have so been looking forward to your arrival.
There's a few important things to take note of in phase 1. Your portal placements, Seed of Corruption timings, and then your dot and soul shard management. And these like really all tie in together, so doing these efficiently will really smooth out your phase 1. So the first thing I do when I walk into Sire's room is I set up my demonic circle and my gateway. Having them set up where I need to be is crucial for maximizing uptime in phase 1. You're going to use your demonic circle so you can land faster after Sire casts Blood Price. So make sure you put it in a place that makes it easy for you to soak or dodge. If you are going to be soaking Cleansing Pain again, put it in front of the boss, so as soon as you cast it, you're already where you need to be and don't move. Or if you're not soaking again, put it next to your gateway or off to the side. So the first thing you do when you come down from Blood Price is reapply all of your dots. You want to have them set up in time so that whenever he starts casting Cleansing Pain again, you'll be ready to cast Seed of Corruption without worrying about your dots falling off. Whenever Sire is finishing the cast of Cleansing Pain, that's when you're going to want to start your Seed of Corruption cast. Seed of Corruption, it takes a second to get to the boss, and then the ads spawn a couple seconds later. They don't spawn instantly. So you want to have a second or two of leeway between him finishing his cast and your seed exploding, so you can hit all of the ads and then start spamming raptures on every target available. As soon as he finishes that, while you're killing the ads, he's going to cast Night Hunters, which is where he targets somebody and you have to soak the lines. The best way to deal with this is to just find a spot and don't move. If you're targeted with Night Hunter, just get to the wall, uncross your lines, find a spot and don't move. Your raid member should soak for you. So once you get Sire to like 70.5%, 71% health, he's going to start the intermission. Make sure that as he teleports to the middle, you use your soul shape so you can get to the middle fast and reapply your dots before you fall down and start phase 2.
Impressive, I suppose. Still, I do look forward to ending your existence.
So phase 2 is a bit more hectic than phase 1, but not as much as phase 3. I'd say the things to focus on in this phase are finding windows where you can spend all your soul shards so you're not overcapping, and then your positioning so that you can try and move as little as possible. So when phase 2 starts, as you're falling down, I always like to target Remornia while you're coming down. So as soon as you land, you can just start dotting her immediately, and you don't have to worry about trying to find her in the crowd of your group. Alright, and this is one of your first DPS windows. Whenever you land, you get your dots up. There's nothing going on right now besides racking pain, but that's pretty much a melee mechanic. And then there's crescendos. Those will happen when the ads die. If you get targeted with Impale, that kind of sucks, but you can still be casting and stuff while you're waiting for Impale to go off. So right now is when you want to use your cooldowns, do all the damage you can, just use all your shards that we're building up. And then I always try and stand near the side where Impale is designated to go. That way if I get Impale, I don't have to move very far. After Impale happens, you're going to be chilling for a second, and then he'll do Hand of Destruction. He pulls you to him, you go through the mirror, you chill. when you're through the mirror, he'll do another impale. Hopefully you don't get targeted with that impale, but if you get targeted, just hang out there, refresh thoughts for Mornia, come back through, and then he'll do Massacre. Massacre is actually a good time to do damage. During Massacre, if you're really unlucky, you'll get like chased by the swords, and you won't ever get a chance to cast. But you can normally get quite a few casts off during Massacre. And then as Massacre is ending, that is one of the best damage windows, like there is. As Massacre ends, Sire just stands there, and then he'll cast like Racking Pain, and then a Hand of Destruction. But the Hand of Destruction comes like 10 or 15 seconds later, so it's very, very nice. And then after that, it's just kind of rinse and repeat. After that, you go across the room, and then you're doing the same thing, but a second time. So when it comes to Crescendo, it's good to note that you can have your Demonic Circle down, and if you do get hit, just teleport back to where your Demonic Circle is.
Fools! I am Revendreth!
Alright, Phase 3. So there's a couple important things here. First off is your movement. You need to know where you're going, like where you're supposed to drop seeds at, and then you need to be able to use your Demonic Circle teleport really well. You need to know how to use your defensives, use Healthstones, potions, use your wall if you haven't used it yet at good times, and then you just need to do as much damage as possible. So as soon as Phase 3 starts, you're going to run up. Most groups pop Lust immediately. You're going to do a bunch of damage to the boss, but make sure you put down your Demonic Circle where the seeds are going to be dropped at, because he's going to do a Hand of Destruction while the seeds are already out. When he pulls you in for Hand of Destruction, you teleport to your circle and start soaking immediately. It's pretty much the same as Phase 1 with Blood Price. As soon as he pulls you in, you can just teleport straight out, mid-flight. And plus, whenever you teleport back quickly, that's extra time to do free damage. So, using your circle is so important for Phase 3. It's so important. So, after that first set of seeds, Sire's gonna do the first Ravage. It's important here to put your circle up at like the point of the Ravage in the middle of the room. You'll see where I put mine. This, in about a minute from now, Sire's going to do Hand of Destruction, and this circle is very, very helpful for getting out when I need to. After these seeds, we're going to have Massacre, and then a set of seeds during the Massacre. These aren't really as scary as people might think they are, because you can soak the seeds almost the entire time during Massacre. And if a blade is hitting the seed, you can still kind of be on the edge. If it goes straight to the middle, you'll see here. It's manageable. So after this Massacre, Sire's going to do the knockback, and then he's going to do Hand of Destruction, the one I mentioned earlier. But what you can do after this Massacre is just stand still, he'll knock you back, and instead of walking towards him, you can just Malefic Rapture from across the platform. Rapture has a 100-yard range as long as your enemy's dotted, so you can probably cast 2 or 3 Raptures before the hand, and then after the hand, go like I was saying earlier. So here I have the seed on me, and I see the boss is at 10% health. I know I'm going to take a bunch of damage, but I know it's fine if I use both of my last defensives, my Healthstone and Potion, because he's going to die soon. He's 10% and then I'm bursting, and I got PI, which is awesome. So he will die, so in this case it's better for me to use all my defensives I have left. But he's not going to die that fast. Maybe using just the one defensive and then Drain Lifing is better. Just be aware of what's going on and like what you have left to use.
Well done, Mawwalker.
Hey guys, I just want to say thanks for watching here at the end. I'm not much of a video maker or editor or anything like that, but I put a bunch of work into this guide, so I hope it was bearable to watch, and I hope you did learn something from this. If you did, please let me know in the comments. Yeah, if you have questions, any other feedback, anything like that, please let me know. I'm eager to respond to you guys. And yeah, thanks again.